What if I told you that before Egypt, before Atlantis, before any civilization we know about, there was a continent so advanced, so mind-blowingly sophisticated, that when it vanished overnight, it took with it secrets that could literally rewrite everything we know about human history. I'm talking about telepathy, anti-gravity technology, and spiritual powers we can't even imagine today. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because the story of Lemuria, also called Mu, is about to blow your mind. And here's the kicker: scientists accidentally stumbled onto evidence that suggests they might have been onto something. Let's dive in. Picture this: it's the 1860s. A British zoologist named Philip Sclater is sitting in his study, totally stumped. He's looking at lemurs, yeah, those big-eyed primates from Madagascar. But here's what's driving him nuts: these little guys are found in Madagascar and India, but nowhere in between. No lemurs in Africa, no lemurs in the Middle East. Just Madagascar and India. So Sclater does what any scientist would do when the evidence doesn't add up: he gets creative. He proposes that there must have been a massive land bridge connecting these places millions of years ago. He calls it Lemuria. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Because that's when things get absolutely wild. A few decades later, a former British soldier turned occultist named Colonel James Churchward claims he's cracked the code. While stationed in India, he says a temple priest showed him ancient tablets that told the story of Mu, the motherland of man. And according to Churchward, this wasn't just some land bridge. This was the cradle of civilization itself. We're talking about a continent spanning the entire Pacific Ocean, home to 64 million people living in a paradise that would make Silicon Valley look like the Stone Age. So let's paint the picture. According to the legends, Mu was straight up paradise. We're talking about 7 major cities with names like City of the Golden Gates. I mean, come on, that's epic. The capital alone supposedly housed millions of people in gleaming white temples and massive stone structures. But here's where it gets insane: the people of Mu weren't just building cool stuff. They had powers. Yeah, you heard me right, powers. We're talking telepathy. They could communicate mind to mind across vast distances. No phones, no internet, just pure consciousness to consciousness, levitation. Ancient texts describe them moving massive stone blocks with sound vibrations and mental energy. Think about that for a second. The stuff we're just now starting to experiment with in labs? They supposedly had it down pat: energy mastery. Some accounts say they could harness the Earth's natural energy, geothermal, electromagnetic, you name it, without any of our clunky technology. They were apparently so spiritually advanced that they lived in total harmony with nature. No wars, no pollution, no drama. Just vibes and enlightenment. And their influence? Supposedly massive. Legends say they had colonies everywhere: Easter Island, Hawaii, parts of Asia, even the Americas. That's right, some researchers think the ancient Polynesians, the Maya, the Incas, they all might be descendants of Mu. Think about it. How did ancient civilizations separated by thousands of miles of ocean all build pyramids? How did they all worship the sun? How did they all have flood myths? The Mu theory says, because they all came from the same place. But every paradise has its fall. And Mu's fall was biblical. According to Churchward's translations, around 12,000 years ago, right around the time mainstream science says the last ice age ended, something catastrophic happened. The ancient texts describe it in terrifying detail. Massive earthquakes ripped through the continent. Volcanoes erupted simultaneously across the land. The ground literally cracked open like eggshell. And then, in what some accounts say took less than a single day and night, the entire continent of Mu sank beneath the Pacific Ocean. Can you imagine? An entire civilization, 64 million people, gone in 24 hours. Wiped from existence. The few survivors supposedly fled in all directions, carrying whatever knowledge they could save. Some say they went east to the Americas, becoming the ancestors of Native American tribes. Others went west to Asia. Some believe a handful made it to a small island continent we now call Atlantis. Yeah, that Atlantis. And here's the thing that gives me chills. Almost every ancient culture on Earth has a flood myth. The Bible's Noah, the Mesopotamian Gilgamesh, Hindu texts, Chinese legends, Native American stories, they all describe a great deluge that destroyed an ancient world. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe they're all remembering the same event from different perspectives. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds cool and all, but where's the proof? Fair question. And honestly, that's where things get messy. Modern science pretty much debunked the original Lemuria theory. We now know about plate tectonics. Continents don't just sink, they drift. The Pacific Ocean floor shows no evidence of a lost continent. And those lemurs Sclater was worried about, turns out they just floated across the ocean on vegetation rafts millions of years ago. Mystery solved, no Lemuria needed. But, and this is a big but, some weird stuff doesn't add up. Underwater ruins near Yonaguni in Japan show what look like massive, geometric structures. Mainstream archaeologists say natural formation, but others aren't so sure. The precision is too perfect. Easter Island's Moai statues. How did ancient people with supposedly primitive technology carve, transport, and erect 900+ massive stone heads? And more importantly, why? Ancient maps like the Pyrie Reis map show coastlines that were covered by ice for thousands of years, coastlines we only rediscovered with modern sonar. How did ancient cartographers know what was under the ice? And then there's the mythology. The Hopi Native Americans speak of arriving from a land that sank in the Pacific. Hawaiian legends describe the lost continent of Kaho'olawe. Aboriginal Australians have stories of a great land to the east that vanished beneath the waves. Are all these cultures independently making up the same story? Look, here's the truth. We'll probably never find definitive proof that Mu or Lemuria existed as described. The Pacific Ocean is massive, deep, and we've explored less than 5% of it. If there is something down there, it's buried under miles of sediment and water. But maybe that's not the point. Maybe the legend of Mu isn't about proving ancient aliens or lost super civilizations. Maybe it's about something deeper. A collective memory of a time when humanity was more connected, more spiritual, more in tune with the earth. Or maybe it's a warning. Because if Mu was real, and if it really was destroyed by natural catastrophe or their own doing, then it's a reminder that no matter how advanced we get, we're still at the mercy of forces bigger than ourselves. We're living in a time when we're more technologically advanced than ever, but somehow more disconnected. We can communicate instantly across the globe, but we've lost the ability to truly connect. We can split atoms, but we're destroying our planet. Maybe the legend of Mu is less about what we lost in the past and more about what we're in danger of losing in the future. Pause. So was Mu real? I honestly don't know. But the fact that this story has survived for thousands of years, across dozens of cultures, in every corner of the world, that tells me something. It tells me that somewhere, deep in our collective memory, we remember. We remember a golden age. We remember a fall. And maybe, just maybe, we remember what we need to do to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. Alright guys, what do you think? Is Mu just a myth, or is there something real buried beneath those waves? Drop your theories in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's greatest mysteries, smash that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending content. Trust me, we're just getting started. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep questioning everything. Peace out.